Have you ever looked out at the world, your heart heavy with a question you are almost afraid to ask God? Have you ever scrolled through your life, watching others succeed, and whispered into the silence, why? Why do they prosper? Why do those who seem to live without a second thought for you, God? The ones who mock faith, who chase fleeting pleasures and build their kingdoms on selfish ambition, why do their lives seem so effortless, so full, so blessed? You see them getting the promotions you prayed for, entering the relationships you longed for, enjoying a peace and stability that feels a universe away from your own daily battles. And in the quiet moments, a dangerous thought can begin to creep in, a whisper from the enemy that says, maybe your faithfulness is for nothing. Maybe God does not see your struggle. Maybe He does not care. It is a feeling of profound spiritual injustice, a confusion that can shake the very foundations of your faith, leaving you feeling overlooked, forgotten, and questioning the very goodness of the God you have committed your life to. But I need you to hear me very clearly right now, child of God. What you are seeing is not what you think you are seeing. Your perspective is limited, but God's is eternal. This season, where you are forced to witness the temporary and fleeting success of those who do not honor Him, is not a punishment. It is not an accident. It is most certainly not a sign that God has abandoned you. It is a divine classroom. It is a holy test. It is a profound and sacred process of preparation for a glory so immense, so lasting, and so specific to you that it will one day completely eclipse everything you are witnessing right now. God is not ignoring you. He is forging you. He is not forgetting you. He is focusing you. And in this message today, we are going to uncover the 5 deep, powerful, and life-altering revelations behind why God allows you, His chosen one, to see the prosperity of the wicked. If you can grasp these truths, your confusion will turn into clarity, your frustration will turn into faith, and your pain will be transformed into unshakable purpose. Let us begin. First, God is testing and strengthening your focus. The world is a noisy and distracting place, filled with glittering objects and flashing successes designed to pull your gaze away from the one thing that truly matters, your relationship with your Creator. The prosperity of the wicked is one of the enemy's most effective tools of distraction. He wants you to look at their lives, to compare your journey to theirs, to measure your progress against their seemingly effortless ascent, because the moment you start comparing is the moment you stop progressing. The moment your eyes fixate on what they have is the moment you lose sight of what God is doing for you. Think of it like running a race. A runner who is constantly looking over their shoulder to see where everyone else is will inevitably stumble. They will lose their footing, they will break their stride, and they may even lose the race altogether. The victorious runner is the one whose eyes are fixed on the finish line, whose focus is singular and unwavering. God is teaching you to be that runner. He is allowing these distractions to exist so that you can train your spiritual eyes to look past the temporary and to fix your gaze upon the eternal. He is asking you, will you trust my process for you, even when someone else's process looks easier? Will you value my presence in your struggle more than you value their prosperity in their disobedience? This test is not to set you up for failure. It is to build in you a spiritual discipline, a holy focus that will be absolutely essential for the next season of your life. When God elevates you, and He will, the distractions will only become greater. The temptations to compare will only become louder. This current season is your training ground. He is building a resilience in your spirit, teaching you to anchor your contentment not in what you see around you, but in who you know within you. Every time you see their success and choose to turn your eyes back to God in praise, you are winning. Every time you feel that pang of envy and you choose to declare God's promises over your own life, you are building a spiritual muscle. You are passing the test. God is forging in you a focus so sharp and so pure that when your blessings arrive, you will not be distracted by them. You will be a steward of them, your eyes still fixed firmly on the giver, not the gift. Second, God is teaching you the critical difference between temporary wealth and eternal treasure. What you perceive as their prosperity is, in the grand scheme of eternity, nothing more than a fleeting mirage. It is like a beautiful house built on sand. From a distance it looks impressive, stable, and desirable. But God, who sees the end from the beginning, knows that the storms are coming. He knows that the foundations are weak and that everything they have built will ultimately be washed away. Their wealth is earthly. It is measured in numbers in a bank account, in the applause of men, in possessions that will rust and decay. But the treasure God is building in you is eternal. It is character forged in the fires of adversity. It is faith that has been tested and proven genuine. It is a depth of intimacy with Him that can only be cultivated in seasons of quiet dependence. It is joy that is not contingent on circumstances. It is peace that surpasses all understanding. These are the true riches. These are the treasures that cannot be stolen, that will not fade, and that you will carry with you into eternity. The Bible warns us in Matthew chapter 6, verse 19, "Do not lay up for yourselves treasures on earth, where moth and rust destroy, and where thieves break in and steal, but lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven." God is giving you a first-hand lesson in the wisdom of this verse. He is allowing you to see the allure of earthly treasure so that you can consciously and intentionally choose the eternal. He is detoxing you from the world's definition of success. The world screams that success is about what you have. God whispers that true success is about who you are becoming in Him. Their happiness is shallow, dependent on the next purchase, the next promotion, the next compliment. But God is cultivating in you a joy that is a deep, unshakable wellspring, fed directly by His presence. So while it may look like they are feasting on fine delicacies, they are in reality consuming spiritual junk food that leaves them empty and unsatisfied. Meanwhile, you are being fed the bread of life, the living water, the spiritual nourishment that is building an unshakable kingdom within you. Do not envy their meal, for it is temporary and leaves the soul hungry. Your struggle is actually a sacred invitation to feast at the Father's table, to accumulate a wealth that the world cannot see and can never take away. Third, God is revealing His ultimate justice and perfect timing. This is perhaps one of the most difficult truths to hold on to, but it is one of the most powerful. Our human desire is for instant justice. We see wrongdoing, and we want immediate consequences. We see faithfulness, and we want immediate reward. But God operates on an eternal timeline, and His justice is as certain as the sunrise. The psalmist Asaph wrestled with this very same issue in Psalm 73. He said, "For I was envious of the arrogant when I saw the prosperity of the wicked." He saw that they had no struggles, that their bodies were healthy and strong, that they were free from common human burdens. He saw their pride, their violence, and how they scoffed at God, and it almost caused him to stumble in his own faith. He wondered if he had kept his heart pure in vain. This is the same crisis of faith you may be feeling. But then, everything changed for Asaph. What was the turning point? He says, "Then I went into the sanctuary of God, and I understood their final destiny." In the presence of God, he was given an eternal perspective. He saw that they were on slippery ground, that God was setting them up for sudden destruction, that they would be swept away by terrors. He realized that their prosperity was a trap, a fattening up before the day of judgment. God is allowing you to see their temporary success so that you will deeply and profoundly understand that sin has a payday. The Bible is clear in Galatians chapter 6, verse 7, "Do not be deceived, God cannot be mocked. A man reaps what he sows. Their current season is one of sowing to the flesh, and the harvest from that will be destruction. Your current season is one of sowing to the Spirit, and your harvest will be eternal life." God's justice may seem slow by our standards, but it is never absent. He is patient, not wanting anyone to perish, but His righteousness will prevail. Do not mistake His patience for His approval. Their time is coming, but more importantly, so is yours. This season of waiting is not a denial of your reward. It is a preparation for it. God is aligning every detail, preparing every heart, and setting the stage for a blessing in your life that will be a testament to His faithfulness. When your time comes, it will be so undeniably righteous, so perfectly timed, and so much greater than their fleeting gains that everyone will know it was the hand of God. Trust in His justice, for it is perfect, and trust in His timing, for it is always right. Fourth, God is using this season for your personal purification and preparation. Before God can entrust you with the great destiny He has planned for you, He must first forge in you the character to sustain it. Great blessings require great character. A powerful anointing requires a purified vessel. The weight of glory requires immense spiritual strength, and that strength is not built in seasons of ease. It is forged in the crucible of adversity, patience, and unwavering faith when nothing makes sense. Watching the wicked prosper while you struggle is one of the most intense fires of purification. It burns away selfish ambition, it purifies your motives, and it answers a critical question: do you serve God for the blessings He gives, or do you serve Him simply for who He is? If your faithfulness is contingent on an easy life, then it is not true faith, It is a transaction. God is calling you higher. He is inviting you into a relationship that is not based on performance or reward, but on pure, unconditional love and trust. This season forces you to dig your roots deeper into Him, to find your validation, your worth, and your hope in Him alone, not in external circumstances. Think of a tree. A tree that is constantly watered and sheltered will have shallow roots, but a tree that must endure seasons of drought and storm is forced to drive its roots deep into the earth in search of water. It becomes strong, resilient, and unshakable. God is making you that tree. The prosperity of the wicked is a spiritual drought in your landscape that is forcing your roots to go deeper into the river of His presence than they ever would have otherwise. He is preparing you to carry a weight of blessing that would crush a weaker person. The very people you are watching might not be able to handle the trials that come with true, God-given purpose. Their foundation is too weak. But God is building your foundation on the rock. Every day you choose to trust Him in this, you are adding another layer of solid stone to that foundation. He is preparing you not for a life of ease, but for a life of impact. He is not just preparing a blessing for you, He is preparing you for the blessing. So do not despise the struggle. It is the very tool God is using to shape you into the person who can not only receive, but also sustain and multiply the incredible destiny He has in store for you. Fifth, and finally, God is setting the stage for His glory to be magnified through your story. If your life were easy, if your success came without a struggle, it could easily be attributed to luck or talent or privilege. It would be a nice story, but it might not necessarily point people to God. But when you have been faithful in the fire, when you have trusted God through seasons of confusion and apparent injustice, when you have waited patiently while others soared past you, and then, at the appointed time, God raises you up, your story becomes a powerful and undeniable testimony to His goodness, His faithfulness, and His power. Your breakthrough will not just be a blessing for you, it will be a beacon of hope for everyone who has watched you walk through the valley. They saw your struggle, they saw your integrity, they saw your unwavering faith, and when they see your elevation, they will have no choice but to acknowledge that a loving and powerful God is at work in your life. God is a master storyteller, and every good story needs tension. This season of watching others prosper is creating a divine tension in your narrative. It is building the suspense. It is setting the stage for a dramatic and glorious resolution that will leave no doubt about who the hero of your story truly is. Your life is meant to be a billboard for the glory of God. Sometimes, for the message on that billboard to be as clear and bright as possible, it must be erected in a place of deep darkness. The contrast makes the light shine brighter. God is positioning you. What feels like a setback is actually a setup. He is allowing the background to look bleak, so that when He paints His masterpiece in your life, the colors will be that much more vibrant. The Apostle Paul understood this principle. He said in 2 Corinthians chapter 4, "We are hard-pressed on every side, but not crushed, perplexed, but not in despair, persecuted, but not abandoned, struck down, but not destroyed." He knew that the struggle was part of the story, the very thing that showcased God's sustaining power. Your story is not over. You are in the middle chapters, the part of the story where the hero is being tested and tried. But the final chapter has already been written by the author of all creation, and it is a chapter of victory, of restoration, and of overwhelming blessing. It is a chapter that will bring glory to His name. So hold on, chosen one. Your testimony is being written, and it is going to be a bestseller that leads countless souls to the goodness and faithfulness of our God. So let us bring this all together. Hear this in your spirit. The sight of the wicked prospering is not a sign of God's absence, but a profound instrument of His presence in your life. It is not a reflection of your worth, but a refinery for your character. You are not being punished, you are being polished. You are not being forgotten, you are being forged. God is using this very situation that confuses you to build a focus in you that is unbreakable. He is revealing to you a definition of wealth that is eternal. He is assuring you of a justice that is inevitable. He is producing in you a character that is unshakable. And He is writing through you a story that will be undeniable. Do not let your heart be troubled. Do not let envy take root. For their path leads to a cliff, but your path, though it may wind through the valley of the shadow, leads to a glorious mountain peak, where the sun of His righteousness will shine upon you forever. Their success is a fleeting vapor, but what God is building in your life is an eternal weight of glory. So let this be your prayer today. Father, give me your eyes to see. Help me to see my life not through the lens of my current circumstances, but through the lens of your eternal promises. Help me to look past the temporary success of others and to fix my gaze firmly on you, the author and the finisher of my faith. Turn my envy into intercession, my frustration into deeper faith, and my confusion into a confident trust in your perfect plan. I declare today that I will not stumble. I will not be moved. My focus is on you. My treasure is in you. My hope is in your justice. I trust your process of purification, and I surrender my story for your glory. Beloved, your season of waiting and watching is not wasted. It is a sacred incubation period. God is doing a deep and hidden work within you. And when the time is right, when the work is complete, He will present you to the world, and your life will shine so brightly that all the glittering distractions you once saw will fade into insignificance. Trust the process. Trust the timing. Trust the God who loves you with an everlasting love and who is working all things together for your good. God bless you.